safe because of the moment, gentlemen. The moment. Stoppage time to keep Qatar in the lead as they go on to win 1-0. All right, Mal, give it to me straight. What the hell just happened?
Yeah. Well, Seb, I'm going to go big picture here and go with the unpopular opinion. I think this is actually good news for the Mexican national team, to be honest. The hype. We've been lucky enough to be a part of press conferences, interviewed. We actually had a chance to say hi to Jimmy Lozano yesterday. You hear it from the media. Don't worry about it. That's just the fireworks that couldn't actually go on during the game because Mexico didn't score. But there was a massive hype around Jimmy Lozano. And I kept telling Herc and everybody on ESPN and ESPN Deportes, we got to take it easy. And I want to see how Jimmy Lozano reacts.
You were driving the car.
I was not driving.
I was not driving
the Lamborghini. I was not driving it. And now the Lamborghini is a little dented. And I think that's not the worst of news. Now we have to see how this team bounces back, how Jimmy reacts to a defeat. Everything is sweet when you're winning.
Yeah.
Now let's see how he reacts after a defeat. Hey, Seb, the people, the fans are really, really upset because, again, this stadium,
House of Horrors, right?
it's bad.
It's the third straight loss, I believe. The first one was a 7-0 to Chile. The second one was a 3-2. They were up 2-0 at halftime against Colombia. It was the send-off series before.
Again, don't worry about it. It's fireworks.
Before
They
the
saved
World
those.
Cup, and now this. And the problem, I guess, is the fans always show up here. It's 70,000 plus on hand to witness this type of display. The fans are upset, and I think for good reason. Though we should say it wasn't the A lineup that Jimmy could have put in. He was giving players opportunities. He was giving players different looks. But even then, you could see that Jimmy was thoroughly trying to win this game. I mean, Henry Martin comes on. He played with 2 9s. Uriel Antuna, who's sitting on a yellow, comes on. He was out on as kind of like a wingback position.
He ended up playing with 2 number 9s, Antuna, Alvarado, and Diego Lainez. And yet.
And Edson Alvarez was almost
Edson
a
Alvarez and
9.
Luis Chavez. And yet, the one thing they kept trying on was crosses. We did not see a lot of open play, creating chances through the middle, creating chances and delivering good balls to your 2 number 9s. It became predictable for Qatar's defense, for Qatar's goalkeeper to try and stop that. I don't want to be that harsh on Jimmy Lozano and this team, but it just comes to prove one more time that it's not always about the manager. It's also about the quality of the roster.
Quality, yeah. 6 changes, to your point, from the team that started against Haiti, which we know is pretty much his best team. So a lot of changes. I think you accept that maybe with those changes come some struggles. One of the positions that didn't change was Memo Ochoa. I think we have to highlight that play. Herc, how much of that goal is on Memo Ochoa? He had a pretty good look at that header.
Yeah, I'd say it's an important mistake because regardless of the first 3 mistakes, the Edson Alvarez mistake on the giveaway, the Israel Reyes mistake on not being able to be there and help him and get the 1-2 going around you, the Julian Araujo mistake of falling asleep at the wheel and just being caught flat-footed and having the Qatari player dunk on you, that's a mistake. All that can be remedied if Memo saves it because it's definitely in his wheelhouse. It's in his, I mean, for a second there, when I didn't see the angle, I was like, oh, he did it again, just like Neymar versus Brazil in the World Cup. And then you see the goal that was given up, and you're like, whoa, that's a Memo Ochoa save that he makes over and over and over again that you would expect from a player of his caliber.
And I would go back and ask this question. Why did he start? Why did he start?
It wasn't necessary,
Wasn't this like the right opportunity for us to see?
Do you want to know? Do you want me to tell you? Or is that a
Well,
rhetorical?
no, I did say it's a rhetorical question.
Okay.
I know Memo wants all the records.
Yes.
Oh, every single record that
But
he
do they
can
run the
shatter,
national
that
team
he
for
will
Memo? Do they run the national team for Memo, or do they run the national team for the future?
No, he's not saying it's right. He's not saying it's correct. But that record that he's alluding to, that Mauricio's alluding to, would be that if he plays the lead up to this final, he would break Andres Guardado's Gold Cup record of games played.
Oh, what a record to have. What a record to have. What's more important, one of Memo's 13 records or the future of Mexican soccer getting a young
right.
You are right.
Don't shoot the messenger.
No, but that's why I'm saying. I mean, this was the perfect opportunity to see Luis Ángel Malagón. Even if you wanted to give Toño Rodriguez a shot, I'm fine with it. But to me, it tells a lot of the big influence. And we've said it before. It feels like this is more than Jimmy's team. right now, with the fact that he's the interim manager, it feels like this is Memo's national team.
I think that's a little unfair because Jimmy Lozano also has a say in this, right? He's not a dummy. Jimmy Lozano he's a very competent individual. If he wants Memo Ochoa to play,
who do you think has more influence on this team, Jimmy or Memo Ochoa?
Well, that's not the question. Who has more influence on the starting lineup? It's Jimmy Lozano.
Oh, I think
that's a big difference.
I think Memo
There's
has
a big difference there.
On that
Memo
decision
Ochoa's
as well.
not going to pick the starting lineup.
No. And if Jimmy Lozano believes that he still has a chance at the real job and he wants to impress, then you can understand why he'd go with Memo and not give some younger guys a shot.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.